Okay, so I'm making a quick video on changing the front lower control arm bushings. This is the front lower control arm bushing. It actually mounts up on the car here. I'm sure you're familiar if you're watching this video. You know where it goes. So I've already obviously loosened up the two bolts. And one thing is to be aware of is you see these recessed cutouts in the housing. So when you unbolt it, it's not going to just drop off. So yeah, you can technically pry it. I wouldn't. I don't like damaging the car any more than I have to. So when I'm working on it. So what I did was I used ramps. You can see the ramps. So what I did was in the back here, I put the jack and raised up the jack, and the wheel is actually up here. It's actually loose. It's not sitting on the ramp right now completely. So what I did is I actually just started shaking this wheel up, from 9 and 3 o'clock. You can start shaking it, and hopefully, more than likely, it should drop off. If not, I mean, of course, you can always, pry it off. But I would try to do that first. So just to give you some quick tips on what to do or to be prepared for. So the first thing is to getting this thing off is going to be a little bit of a point of frustration. It's to get it on as well as to take it off. It's unfortunately it's not very easy. So one thing is, so when you saw it on the car, what I first did was on this end, right here on the end. So the bushing obviously slips on, it slips on this way. So what you're going to want to do is, I actually got a drill bit, a titanium drill bit, and actually I drilled a little hole right on the tip, so that what you're going to do is to pull off. You're going to need this 2-arm puller, and this section here is going to need something to kind of sit into. If you don't have something for it to sit into, this is going to kind of move all over the place. So you're going to need this 2-arm puller. Here I got the tools that I'm using to do this job. But to get this bushing off, you're going to want to drill a hole in this arm right here, so that this can go into that hole right here. It'll go right on there, and then you'll obviously put these around the bushing housing, and then you can then you'll actually pull it off. So just to give you a quick list of the parts that you'll need. Obviously, I have the drill with the titanium bits. I have a impact wrench. I have a 16 millimeters for the two bolts that go in here, and I actually have a 19 also to get onto this puller. And then I have these DeWalt titanium coated drill bits. I've got the hammer. So to put these on, if you don't have the tool, it's kind of difficult when you're doing it yourself. So to be prepared, I would recommend. I've already done the driver's side, so actually I needed to use heat. So what I did is I got some high temp grease here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the high temp grease on the end here and inside the bushing where this mounts. And you'll see that it's very specific on how it mounts onto. There's two cutouts for the side right here. You'll see it's kind of raised up. So yeah. So what I did was I heated this up. I put some grease on there, and then when I got it started, I actually got a metal plate, and the metal plate will kind of cover this end when it slides on. I did it so that it gets the whole bushing instead of just on one side. So I put a metal plate that I had, and I will say I started it off with the hammer. And once I got it kind of started, then I started heating up the control arm, and then I kept hitting it with this hammer with the steel plate on it, and I got it on. So as I said, it's a little unfortunate. It's somewhat of a little tedious project. I think sometimes it can go easy, and then I think most of the time it's not going to go easy. But you're definitely going to want this 2-arm puller. You can also buy the front control arm bushing tool. I'm actually thinking about getting one, so I might just rent it out just to help people out. But I was thinking about getting the tool, but if you don't have the tool, you're going to need the hammer, and like I said, you're going to need something metal to put on here so it doesn't damage the bushing when you're putting it on. But I would say probably the best way is with the tool. So yeah, so that's like I said, there's a quick list of the tools and kind of give it a, but yeah, I would highly recommend drilling a little hole. I'm actually going to drill a hole on these for my new control arm, so that when I need to replace them next time, it'll be a lot easier. So I'm going to kind of pre-do that. Okay. As I said, it's not too difficult of a job. Hope this helps someone.